Okay, this is part 2 of Zweiback making. I have let the dough rise, and as you can see, it's like quite large now. It hasn't even been 2 hours. It's been like an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes. So it doesn't necessarily require the full 2 hours. It really depends on the conditions that you've got the dough sitting in. So how warm is that spot, and how depends how quickly the yeast activates the dough. So now I need to grease my pans. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of the shortening paper and just kind of rub it like it's got a bit of shortening on it. That's just one of the part of the wrapper, and I'm gonna grease that one as well as this one. I'm gonna try this dark pan this time because really, we may not know this, but whenever you bake something, the pan, if the pan is darker, like it's an old pan, it's been used a lot, or it just naturally is a darker color, it will brown things faster than a light colored pan. And last time I made Zweiback, I used just light colored pans, and I found that they weren't that brown. So I'm going to experiment and see if I can get it to get it, you know, see what happens with a darker pan. See if in fact the Zweiback will get darker. So I am going to have on hand some vegetable oil. I just have like regular canola oil here, because what happens with this, when you start handling the dough, your hands get kind of sticky, and you don't want the dough sticking to your hands. You're going to try and keep the dough you know, from sticking. So I'm just gonna like put a bit of vegetable oil in my hand before I take it off the sides of the pan. So you see how it's sticky and it's collapsing, and I'm just gonna make sure that I have the oil handy so that I can, you know, let it mix it up together without getting too sticky. So this is going to be tricky. I'm going to pinch off part of the dough, and I need to get a little bit of oil in this hand too so that I can handle it. Okay, I'm going to manipulate the dough so I get a smooth top on it, and then I'm going to start pinching off the bits to make the Zweiback. Okay, so I take it and I pinch it off, twist it and put it down. So I am by no means an expert at this, so I'm kind of clumsy, but hey, it'll work out. Oops. The idea is, you know, you're trying to make the Zweiback smooth and nice looking too, you know. Well, that's kind of a big one, so I'm going to use it for a base. The top one is probably better if it's just a little bit smaller than the bottom bun, so that they don't fall over so easily. Anyway, they may still fall over, but not as easily. Anyway, I'll do one pan of these, and then that'll be it for the video. What I'm gonna do after I finish the pan is I'm gonna put them back in a warm. I'm gonna put the pans back in a warm spot, probably for about maybe half an hour. Because what will happen is, while it's sitting there, the dough will rise again. In this time in the Zweiback shape, and when they've risen again, then they're ready for baking. So after they've risen again, I'll put the oven on at 400 degrees. So it needs quite a, this is a small one, I'm sticking it here. It needs quite a hot oven in order to bake bread or buns like this. So 400 degrees, and it takes about 20 minutes. But first we got to get them on the pan, and like I said, this is a messy job. Well, it shouldn't be that messy, except that I'm kind of novice at it, so it gets a bit messy. And you will, I'm sure, have quite a good laugh at the first time you try doing this, because do your best. Keep the vegetable oil handy so that if it gets too sticky, like you see, I should probably put some vegetable oil on my hands, but I should have done that before I grabbed this thing of dough. And you know, that helps keep the dough smoother and under control, because this is looking pretty weird right now. I'm thinking these will be fine, but what would have made this a little bit easier maybe is if I had added a bit more flour to the dough in the first step. You know, when I added that extra flour, I thought I added enough. Well, maybe I should have added a little more, but you know, they're going to be fine. They're going to taste fine. It's just that they may not look as nice. Not the ones that I'm going to enter into the Mennonite fair. Geez. Did my battery go on me now on the video? It's not, it's got this stupid warning message. Should have plugged it in, I forgot. Okay, I don't know if you saw me finish the rest of it or if this recorded, because I had a low battery light, so we'll see.